Last night I was reading through my journal entries, scrolling way back for the past few years, and I came across this one on March 28th, 2023 at 3:28 a.m. And at the bottom of the entry, this is what I had written that night. It said, I bear myself good luck for what's to come in the next month or two, as I know it will be a very difficult and changing time. Now the thing about this, and makes it so funny to me and so ironic, is that only a month and a half later, came the hardest part and the hardest thing that I've ever dealt with in 21 years. At the time, 19 years. It changed my entire life. That one event, that one moment that I called out a month and a half earlier because my gut told me it was going to come, that has made me into the person I am today. And ever since that, I've trusted my gut for just about everything I've done. From starting a YouTube channel and starting my business, bringing in clients, anything that I do, I trust what my gut tells me, and I trust what I decide for myself, because that eventually is what's going to lead me into the best path, right? So me doing this and me writing down, granted, I journal a lot, not a lot, maybe once a month. I go through, it doesn't have to be anything big, it doesn't have to be anything small. But when I do, it's something so I can look back and remember, because I forget about this type of stuff, especially that how much it impacts of who I am today, right? Impacts me. So this small little thing changed the entire tide. And I'm not going to go deep into it because it's a lot more personal than I'm willing to share online. But that type of thing pushes me to where I am today, the type of person I am today. I'm a lot more independent. I like to enjoy my own time, right? And there's a big argument between freedom and loneliness. Are they the same? Are they two different sides of the same coin? Are they totally separate things, right? And that's what I kind of come to. So everything that I've done is to trust my gut. And it all comes from this entire entry. So I want you to think about, right? And this is a short video, it's nothing crazy, but it's something that I definitely wanted to say because of how much it impacts me and how much it has shifted my life to where I am now. This small little thing that most people wouldn't happen to. Majority of people doesn't happen to. Nothing close to this happens to them. But everything has an impact on you, and you decide how big of an impact that has, how you're going to take that, how it is going to develop you into the person you're going to be in your future, right? And although it was my lowest low, I was past the floor. I was deep digging in a hole, right? So if I'm at that point in my life, how is that going to impact me in a better way in my future, right? And you can kind of relate this in other things, especially into fitness, which you're like, how the fuck would you relate this into fitness? And that's exactly what I'm here to tell you. You can relate just about anything into your physical health and mental health and physical health journey, and fitness, into your journey. So for me being in such a low point, what did that do? Well, that pushed me away from alcohol. That pushed me away from hookup culture. That pushed me away from just partying in general. Yes, that changed my whole social life, and that definitely changes a lot from how I am today. But that one little thing changed the entire course of how I live my life, right? So you can say, oh, that's kind of bad, right? Oh, you don't like drinking, you don't like partying. No, I don't anymore. That's just kind of how I am. That's kind of how I came to be. And this honestly was the root of it, because all of that caused my problems. So how do I avoid something like this happening again? Not doing those same things, right? So I don't go out as much. I don't enjoy drinking, right? It's become a part of a routine that instead of me just avoiding it, it's just not something I feel a need or a want to do. So now you change this into, think of dieting or fitness, right? And going to the gym. For you, of going to the gym, it's something that you could dread to do. For you eating healthy, it could be something you dread to do. But if you force yourself to do it, and in the opposite reverse way of how I went about that, right, and pushed everything away, you bring that in because that's in a good manner, because that's in a beneficial manner. So once you start doing that, you're going to see that it brings into just a new habit and a new routine for what you usually do. So instead of you going, oh, I'm at the grocery store getting some cookies and I pick up whatever, right? No, now I have a whole fucking pharmacy of supplements in my drawer, right? And I drink 7 of these a day. I drink almost 200 ounces of water every single day. So everything makes a difference in a way that you have to figure out what difference that's going to make, which seems crazy to think about. But no, it really isn't. It's not that crazy to think about. So figure out what has to happen for you to do that. And you don't need some crazy life-changing event. You just need to be able to get that motivation to get you going. It's a spark, right? It's a fire that you have to light And it's going to take a lot of trial and error to figure out what that is. And so that's where I trust my gut feeling of what I think is going to help me and what is going to push me to do better. So in that case of whatever the fuck happened here, right? And all this shit, or whatever happens in just my normal day-to-day life. If I, for example, it could be the smallest things of me increasing weight, and I'm going to trust my gut. If I think I can increase my weight on a set and reach my goal, I will. If I think I want to increase my weight, but I don't think I'm going to get there, because that's my gut telling me like you're just going to waste your time, you're going to waste a set, you're not going to get what you want out of it, then I won't, and I'll stay there. And turns out most of the time, 99.99% of the time that happens, I struggle on that last rep. So I wouldn't have probably met my goals if I actually went about doing that. So yeah, not a lot of people actually structure how they think like this, but that's how I do now. And that is because of events that have happened in my past. So you don't need to do that, but I want you to start trusting your gut for what is going on, because that is your intuition. Not everyone has a great intuition, but how do you get better at something? Failure. You get better by failing again and again and again and again and again. I didn't get shredded and I don't have abs by just like doing nothing, right? I failed again and again and again. For the past 4 months, I've been trial and erroring through my diet of how to stay low in calories and meet all my macros, meet all my micros, and feel great. And then be fucking diced and be shredded, right? So it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of failure and a lot of effort that majority of people aren't willing to give in and put into themselves. So you can break down, if there are 100% of people going into one thing, right? You want to go into fitness. And I'm going to base this into a competition sense just so I can base it off of that. But you're up against, let's say, 99 other people. 80% of those are going to flake off. Not much work, not much effort. They're going to get tired of it. They're not going to see the results and they're going to say, it's not for me. Okay? Down to 19 other people. Okay? You versus 19 other people. Half of those, right? Another 10, let's say, are going to keep going. And they're going to make good progress and they'll just kind of lose motivation, right? Because you're past that stage where you're like, okay, you've made some results, but they're just not really there. And now they're pushed off and they're gone as well. So you're you versus 9 other people, right? And this is going down to the top 1% of who's going to win that. And it goes even deeper for that of who doesn't stick through it because they don't have the discipline. So take that 10% of people of that 100 who got through the initial part, right? They saw some results, then they lost the motivation, and then they're gone. And it goes another few steps further where it literally comes down to just the person who's willing to try as hard as they can for the longest amount of time. There's just about nothing else to it. If you are actively trying to better yourself every single day in one set thing, you're going to win. You're going to be better than everyone else. And you can base this in, if you want to be the top 1%, you need to be 1 out of 100, right? If you want to be the top 0.1%, that's 1 out of 1,000. Top 0.01%, that's 1 out of 10,000. So are you capable of that? Can you do that? Can you outwork people? Can you outwork, let's say, 99 other people, 999 other people, 9,999 other people for as long as it takes? Can you do that? So that goes into fitness, that goes into your daily life, that goes into health. Can you manage to fight against yourself and battle against yourself? If those 99 other people are 99 yous, the 99 yous that you think are going to be better than you, you have to outwork them. Everything's inside your head. Everything's mental. So trust your gut on what you're able to do in the same way that I trust my gut and I still went through with it. That's the thing. I trust my gut. If I trusted my gut, where do you think I'd be now? I wouldn't have gone through this shit. I wouldn't have gone on what this resulted to. I would be a completely different person. But because I saw that I didn't trust myself, that folded over, that snowballed. And now I do trust myself. And now I'm way up here. Now I'm better than I can ever be, right? And I'm still working better. And I know if I'm here, my ceiling, there is no ceiling, right? You can't only reach for the stars. That's corny, but you get it. So trust your gut. Trust yourself and rely on yourself to be able to get things done. And yes, rely on other people. That's fine. But you can't be relying on other people to do the things for you that are requiring you to do the work. It's just not how it works. I've been coping by joining programs to help scale my business when the information is not what I need. What I need is just putting in the work. So I finally started putting in the work, holy voice crack. And what have I seen? Results. It is almost never about the information. If I wanted the information that bad, I could go on YouTube, I could go on ChatGPT, I could do my own research. But it means more to have someone tell me that. In the same way that if anyone wants a fitness coach, You don't fucking need the information. If you cared that much, you would go to YouTube and you would go to ChatGPT and you would go read studies and do whatever the fuck you want. But because of that time that you don't want, you come to me, who has thrown years away to make progress, and now I know how to skip all that, right? If I started with what I know now in the gym, I would have gotten to this spot probably 99% quicker. If I'm approaching 4 years next month in the gym consistently, I would have been here probably in a year and a half. I kid you not. Like, I've wasted so much time, and that's the whole point of it. But if you just put in the work and like seriously put in the work, because I've been working hard. I've been working hard for the past few months, but the past few weeks doesn't even compare to that. Past few months, past few weeks. So if I can do that, and I know that, you know the same thing, that if you just sit down and really put in some effort and you trust your gut along every step of the process, you're going to succeed. That's all that's really all it is. And again, it can be anything. It can go into any part of your life. But if you can seriously sit down, look yourself in the mirror and look yourself in the eyes, and can trust yourself and trust what decision you make, if it's for yourself, if you can make a decision for 50 other people, for 1,000 other people, that's trusting yourself. So if someone's putting their life in your hands, like I have my clients putting their health in my hands, that's how I trust myself. That's where I get improvement from other parts that I wouldn't be able to. So find those things that you can do in your life, whether it's for yourself or for other people, that you can trust the decisions you have to make, so you don't have to doubt yourself and go into a deeper spot that is only going to make you worse. So that's all I got. But if this made any sense, please let me know. I would love to hear some comments. I'll see you guys next time.